What is reconstruction? So, I've said on this page before that I'm not interested in deconstruction without reconstruction. And a number of people have asked me, okay, well, what does that mean? Sorry, I gotta let that truck pass. Okay, he's gone. So, what is reconstruction and why does that matter? Well, one of the things that I'm not interested in is just throwing my faith out. I want to question my faith and I want to question my behaviors. And where they don't match, I need to figure out, is my faith bad? In other words, is it based off of something that's not in the Bible? Or do my behaviors just not match my faith? And the easiest example that I have of this is husbands. Every guy I meet says, well, I want to love my wife like Christ loved the church, or loves the church. But then their behaviors don't match that. And when I was first married, I hate to say this, but that was very much true of me. And it's been true of me throughout the 27 years that I've been married. And so in those cases, I need to go back to the Bible and I need to look and say, okay, nope, it really says that. I need to love my wife like Christ loved the church. So the faith is right there. My behaviors aren't, and I need to change my behaviors to match my faith. There have been other things that I've done them, like things that I taught early in my career. I was a pastor, or even as a Christian school Bible teacher, that now I look back, I'm like, oh, nope, I don't believe that. I think that was bad faith. I think that was bad interpretation of the scripture, or it wasn't even in the scriptures. It was just something I was taught. And when I went and examined it for myself, I was like, ooh, that doesn't work. And the thing of it is we all have these blind spots. There's a great book by the guy who founded Promise Keepers called Blind Spots, where he talked about that. We all have blind spots. And I think that is what's brought out deconstruction. You know, when I was a kid, there was this big movement to not let kids listen to any music with a beat. But then a lot of those same parents would go home and the husband would literally hit their wives or the kids and call it love. Well, clearly there's a problem there and we need to deconstruct that. But then we need to reconstruct, what does it mean to live consistently out of our faith? And that's what I mean by it. That's what I hope Hiding Behind God brings. The sequel book, which I'm just starting to outline, called God Doesn't Care About Your Theology. That's what I hope those books do. They invite us into a conversation of examining our beliefs and saying, okay, is this really in the Bible? If it is, do my behaviors match it? If they don't, how do I change that? If it isn't, what do I need to change? That's what reconstruction is, and I hope that that's what we do, because I see that all through the New Testament. You see that in the early church. They're constantly making sure that their actions line up with what they say. Deconstruction with reconstruction.